Gentlemen, our next bout is scheduled for three-minute rounds of amateur MMA action at a lightweight. Let me first introduce you in the blue corner. Fighting out of Team Extreme from Dundee, please welcome to the cage, Jason Baird.
OnTop 7 at the Fife Ice Arena in Kirkcaldy, Scotland. Jason Baird up against Stuart Carroll next. It's a lightweight, 155 pounds amateur bout. I'm Steph Flack. I'm joined on commentary tonight by Callum Hunter. Callum, another good fight look coming up for us here.
Yeah, very excited to see Jason Baird. I know he just came back after a long layoff, I believe, and won his return fight against Jack DeMarco at Art of Combat. Fighting Stuart Carroll from the Dundee Shooters. Dundee Shooters are always a very well-versed team. And Jason Baird has come out in a gi with a black belt. Now, I believe he's a karate black belt and a judo black belt, as well as being a BJJ blue belt under Rick Young.
That's a serious set of skills to bring to the cage here on OnTop 7.
Looking at the thicker material of the gi, I'll guess it's a judo gi. Be interested to see how these skills translate when he steps inside the cage.
We will hand over to our MC, Kimberly Hamilton.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the red corner, fights out of the Dundee Shooters. Please welcome Stuart Carroll.
Stuart Carroll fighting out of the Dundee Shooters team. We believe this is his debut. 155 pound lightweight encounter here at OnTop 7. Yeah, he'll have his hands full, Stuart Carroll, here up against Jason Baird, who's a black belt in pretty much everything going. And we've seen karate work for guys, you know, in the UFC as well.
At the highest level, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yoda Machida. I mean, we don't know. Obviously, his other base skills will be fantastic. Jason Baird looks very relaxed. Of course, this is something of a Dundee derby. Both guys fighting out of gyms in Dundee. Back to Kimberly Hamilton.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is scheduled for three-minute rounds of amateur MMA action. In the blue corner, fighting out of Team Extreme in Dundee, please welcome Jason Baird. Ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, his opponent, fighting out of the Dundee Shooters, Stuart Carroll.
OnTop 7 in Kirkcaldy, Fife, Scotland. Jason Baird against Stuart Carroll, lightweight amateur fight.
Referee John Jameson.
They touch gloves. Carroll in the red shorts, Jason Baird in the black and red.
Just with his hands quite low.
Really interested to see how this plays out, what Jason Baird's first move will be.
Throwing out light leg kicks, really just feeling him out though. I don't think he's throwing much into those at all. Good right hand.
The right hand, yep. got to imagine his judo will be immense. We've seen that work really well for fighters, a lot of Scottish fighters too.
Carroll is driving, but Baird has got double underhooks. Baird should try and... Oh, he gives up the double underhooks.
Guys like Robert Whiteford, Scott Malone, these guys are great judo, and it really can be of great use in the cage.
Of course, Carroll will be a training partner of Scott Malone, so he shouldn't be unused to judo. He's landing some very nice knees, which you don't see such clean knees being landed. As you can see, what Carroll's doing very well, he just stopped doing it, but he was using his head nicely.
He's got to make sure he doesn't get the full guard, or as the full guard, he'll be in serious trouble, Carroll, if that happens. As it is, he looks like he's struggling. Can Baird just slip his leg out?
Carroll needs to get his hips a bit higher. Baird's doing well. He's using his left to bring his hips now, put more pressure.
Ref just checking that he was still with us, and he is.
But he's blocking that nicely.
Yeah, he's done great.
He seems really very calm there. He's now pushing him nice and throwing another big knee again. Nice knees.
Really horrible knees to the chest.
Big knees again. This is brilliant stuff from Carroll. I've never seen this before, especially at an amateur level. Constantly working those knees against the body. Now, if you see, he's using his head nice. He's pushing Baird's head right up against the cage, making it very hard for Baird to move. And that's allowing him to throw these lovely knees in.
Baird looks like he might be hurt. I'm not quite sure what. Is it something to do with his ribs? I think he looks like he's in a bit of discomfort here.
Well, with those knees landing so cleanly, I wouldn't be surprised. He switches to a nice single, uses his head, turns in. Very slick stuff from Carroll, looking very, very talented for a debut fighter.
You've got to say, looking at this fight before it happened, anyone coming in without much knowledge of these two guys, and I have to include myself in that, just looking at the fact that this guy, Jason Baird, has got 2 black belts, you know, if you were going to pick where this fight was going to be won, you'd have to have said that Baird surely would be the favourite, but Carroll looking very impressive so far.
Baird holding on very tightly, but you know, Carroll's in a very safe position in side control. He's happy to stay there. Starting throwing a bit of ground and pound. Carroll's trying to work for some arm locks, but Baird's doing a good job of defending.
Yeah, he defends the mount attempt really well as well. But side control isn't a bad position to be in from the top, and let's see if Carroll can do some real damage here. He's controlling him quite well.
I mean, Carroll has convincingly won this round. Baird comes up to a scrambling position.
Just going to finish off with some nice strikes to put an exclamation point on the fact that he's won this round.
Time!
Very, very dominant performance by Stuart Carroll. We think Jason Baird is pointing that he's broken his hand to his coach. At this level, I'd be calling it off.
Yeah, he's definitely saying he's broken his hand. The fight will be off. The referee will not let this continue. He simply can't.
The fight is off.
That's a real pity, but I did say in the round he definitely looked to be in some serious discomfort. I thought it might have been from the knees. I suppose it might have been from a knee onto the hand, but yeah, we thought it might have been his ribs, but clearly something's gone horribly wrong with his right hand. And he did look out of sorts actually in the, you know, from pretty early on in that round. That makes a lot of sense now to see that that's happened.
And a shame as well, because you know, Carroll was doing very well. You don't know what, you know, how early that happened to Stuart as well. That would have very, very hindered him. Would have really hindered him, excuse me.
So Stuart Carroll wins his debut by verbal submission. Jason Baird unable to continue into round 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, between rounds 1 and 2 of the second bout of this evening's show, we have a stoppage called, and as a result, your winner in the red corner, Stuart Carroll! Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for his opponent, fighting out of Team Extreme in Dundee, Jason Baird.